ended up in these conversations about technology lately. A lot of them are just like with people I know. Like, we don't live in like a technologically advanced area or anything, but it's something I've always kept up with. So it's like my opinions get challenged just by what I hear and see sometimes. One of those opinions, I would say the biggest that get challenged a lot, is just kids on their devices, or kids playing a game, or kids in an app, or in Fortnite, or something like that, like too much. It's like people think that by telling a kid to get off their device or get their head out of a game, that they're helping them develop skills that they'll need in the future. Like, the future is the technology. It's not going backwards. I mean, I'm not saying encourage them to be on the device more, but instead of telling them to get off the device, maybe we should be on them more, like the adults that are telling these kids what we think they should know. Like, we really have no idea, because we're from the old time when devices weren't life. Really cold out. And like, I know I say that and people are gonna be like, okay, devices aren't life. But think about before the iPhone. We had MP3 players, iPods, like Game Boys, Walkmans. Like, there was life. And then there were these things that we could carry around with us that brought a little bit of that entertainment with us, like our music or our games, or even a camera. Like, we could take those with us, but life happened outside of those things. And it's not even, like, I'm not even talking about, like, back in the day compared to now. Like, well, it used to be like this, and now it's like this. It's just the way things go. You know, before the World Wide Web sat on a desktop in our room on a crappy computer that was a frustrating thing to use. And it's just like access to information and access to places. And the further it goes, the more incorporated it is into our life. I mean, it's like people are worried about assimilation, and people, like, we're already there. It's just we have to carry it in our hands. And I think about things like 5G. Like, if you ask people what 5G means to them, it's like no buffering when they're watching their YouTube videos, or faster download times or faster upload times. But we're already at a point where it's like, hey Alexa, I'm out of toothpaste, order me more, you know, and it's on your doorstep. And like, smart homes are hooked up to devices that are hooked up to our Wi-Fi. But like, when you think of 5G, think about smart homes being like, your cabinets just know that you're out. It's not like GPS is already live. Apple's next big thing is to put satellites in the air to take advantage of the technology. So it's not like all the roads are going to be on the map app, it's going to be like, it can tell you when there's a tree down in your way. It'll be just live. And it's, I guess the fear is that, you know, we've all encountered technology that we don't understand, and we used to attack it with this like childlike awe. Like when MySpace was a thing, it was just the coolest thing in the world, and now we're reluctant to adopt it. And you're starting to see people who just are behind, like they have to have everything explained to them. I mean, think about the internet. The internet used to be like websites, and now it's not that social media is part of the internet, it's that social media is the internet. And then we link out to those websites as part of social media. People talk about, well, we never have anything to talk about anymore when we get together because we're always on Facebook. Life happens there. And it's only going to become more integrated. Like, you're going to put contact lenses in and see the world differently. It's called augmented reality. It's already there. Like, it's already there. Like, this fear of it, or this, like, you know, well, you should get off your phone and have a real conversation. I mean, that's cool to say, I guess. Like, there's valid points, and I agree. I enjoy a face-to-face conversation, but things are just different. Like, it's just different. We're moving forward, and it's only going to get faster. So, you know, I don't discourage my kids from being on their devices, and I don't frown upon the fact that they want to be playing Fortnite, which, you know, has kind of become social media in itself, the way that they're online interacting with their friends all the time. Yes, I discourage douchebag activity because sometimes Cam gets a little too hype, but it is what it is. Like, don't encourage them to get off of it or do it less. Teach them how to do it right. Think of it like this. If you're a parent, or like, if you consider yourself an older person consuming these apps or this kind of content. When I was a kid, I was not allowed to go to someone's house unless my parents knew their parents. That was a very short list of people. So why, as parents or as adults, as the people in charge who want to direct the way life goes and decide what means what, why wouldn't you try to figure these things out to teach your kids how to go about things the right way instead of just discouraging them? What parent would discourage their kids from having friends instead of trying to get to know those kids or their parents to find out if they were good people so your kids could hang out with those people? So when I signed up for TikTok and Snapchat, people were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, well, I mean, you got to figure it out. It just is. It's not going backwards, it's going forwards. So there was a time when I followed everyone my kids followed on Snapchat and TikTok. I don't anymore because things have changed. And yes, there was a time when especially those two apps were maybe not where you wanted your kids to be because people were doing shady things. But, I mean, shady people are everywhere. You teach your kids how to be the way they need to be online, just like you teach them how they need to be in Walmart. I mean, it's the same thing. Life happens there now. We need to know how things work so that we can show the generations coming up how to be, or things are going to get worse. If that's your fear, I mean, if that's really your fear, if your fear is that you don't want your daughter on Snapchat because it's for, you know, nasty pictures and drug deals, well, I mean, there are parts of Wilmington I wouldn't want my daughter to hang out in, and there are ways I wouldn't want my daughter to act around certain people because of those same reasons. It just happens online now. Nothing we can do about it. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. Apple's next big thing, research it. I think about that a lot. I'm a fan of Apple. Their first big thing was the Mac computer was competition for IBM, and then they've had big invention after big invention. Their smartphones are a big deal because of the iPhone. It's just the way it is. Their next big thing is going to be even more all-encompassing. It's going to bring this technology into your body. It will. It just will. That's the next big thing. Will it be 10 years? Will it be 20 years? Probably. I don't know. But it's coming. I mean, get left behind or not. And if you're discouraging your kids or discouraging anyone from being on their devices, like, you're literally retarding their growth. I mean, you need to teach kids how to make friends. Same thing. Okay. Rant over. We're gonna pick Cam up, meet Mom at my house, and then we're going to Dill's game. She's got a game in Bethel. Me and Mom and Cam are going. Eric's picking Addy up at my house, and then there will be chili waiting when we get home.
Run. See.
Cool.
My
Whoa! Let me get that unlocked. Yeah.
Alright, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11.